This is KVUE News at 6.
A man stabbed the group of people police say did it, still on the run.
Everyone's together, everyone's equal.
A celebration and long-standing tradition in East Austin today. Plus, the latest candidate to run for lieutenant governor, why he's saying he's a better fit for Texas than Dan Patrick. KVUE News at 6 starts right now. Good evening and thank you for joining us this Saturday. I'm Chris Betts. Right now, Austin police are still searching for that group of people who are accused of stabbing a man in South Austin earlier today. It happened just before noon at Blung Creek Apartments, that's near the Walmart on East Ben White Boulevard. Austin-Travis County EMS rushed one male victim to St. David's South Austin Medical Center. He had serious injuries. Officers are now searching for 4 Hispanic males in their 20s. They may be driving a black SUV, and police are still trying to figure out what led up to that stabbing. And this weekend, we could learn the identity of the body found in Lady Bird Lake yesterday. Officers say a paddleboarder discovered the body last night near Lakeshore Boulevard, just east of I-35. APD has not released much information, but we do know that EMS officials tell us it is a man, likely in his 30s. Homicide detectives are still investigating, but APD says so far nothing appears to be suspicious about his death. Well, it's officially the hottest day of the year, and I'm not just complaining. Today is the first time in 2017 that it's reached at least 100 degrees. KVUE meteorologist Nathan Gogo joining us now. Nathan, just how hot did it get today?
Yeah, so it was 100 degrees, but just within the last hour, as we move towards 6 o'clock, it bumped up to 101. So yes, the hottest day of the year so far. We've had several days where the heat index value, when you factor in the humidity, was above 100, but this is the first time where the actual thermometer climbed to the century mark. 99 in San Marcos, 102 out in Llano. Things still very hot. If you're heading outside, make sure to drink plenty of fluids, stay cool, stay in the shade. It's 99 right now at Bergstrom, 97 at Camp Mabry. Humidity making it feel like 107 though at Bergstrom right now, and 103 at Camp Mabry. And the wind, unfortunately, not helping out too much. Fairly calm at this hour. Temperatures still all across the board very hot, mid to upper 90s, still at 100 degrees in Llano. Going through tonight, we'll see mainly clear skies. Temperatures eventually drop into the 70s, but we are going to see a very hot Father's Day, but we have some things to watch in the tropics. We're going to be talking about that in a few minutes. Chris.
All right, we'll see you soon. Thank you, Nathan. A new candidate for Texas Lieutenant Governor this afternoon, Democrat Mike Collier officially announced his bid for the position in Round Rock. A large crowd of supporters came out to the Sharon Preet Main Street Plaza to hear his plan to take on Dan Patrick in 2018. He told the crowd they need a lieutenant governor that will bring Texas together, not apart. And he criticized Patrick on his priorities this legislative session, like the so-called bathroom bill that we're entering a special session for in July. He says if he wins the race, he'll focus on fixing Texas economy and school funding.
We're very different in terms of public education. I'm pro-public education. I'm pro-teacher and retired teacher, and he's not. And we're very different points of view in terms of tax policy. I attribute high property taxes to the Republican fiscal policies. I'll show that on the campaign trail.
When you look at what he stands for, you'll see that he's trying to do good for everyone, not just for certain interest groups.
Collier, a longtime accountant at PricewaterhouseCoopers in the Houston area, was the Democratic nominee for comptroller back in 2014, but he lost to Glenn Hager. Today he said his experience running in that statewide race will help him in this upcoming election cycle. For 28 people in Austin today, this will certainly be a Saturday to remember. They were all sworn in officially, going from refugees to U.S. citizens. The ceremony was held at the Bullock Museum as part of their Refugee Day activities. And these 28 people came from 15 different countries and were all refugees at a certain point. So a lot of smiles and hugs today as the judge took their oath and officially greeted them as Americans.
Congratulations and welcome, my fellow Americans.
It's amazing. It's a huge privilege. We've been lucky enough to host this celebration for 9 years now, and it's just a pleasure to be a part of Austin's community and to support the refugee community.
For more information on this program, you can visit the links section at KVUE.com. Well, it's been 1 year since ride-sharing company Fasten launched here in Austin. They helped fill the gap when Uber and Lyft left town. Today, Fasten is celebrating by throwing a special festival for the whole community, and that's where KVUE's Nicole Rosales joins us live outside Fair Market in East Austin. Hey, Nicole.
Yes, Chris, you're absolutely right. This is a huge milestone for Fasten, and like you said, they came into Austin during a time when major companies like Uber and Lyft were under fire, and eventually those two companies left the city, leaving more room for apps like Fasten to dominate the ride-sharing industry. And like you said, Uber and Lyft are back in the city now. It was announced just a few weeks ago about their comeback. They're going to be operating here again, or they are operating here again in the Austin area. I did speak to Fasten's CEO about feeling any pressure with the competition picking up, and he says this isn't anything new and is confident riders will continue to choose Fasten. Driver Corey Black tells me loyalty is what would keep the company thriving.
Our feeling is like tourists will probably go back to Uber and Lyft because they're familiar with it and they use it in their city and they only want to have one or two apps. Whereas locals, and we'll really see when UT comes back into session for fall, what the demand is going to be. And I really hope that the vast majority of them will stick with Fasten.
Staff say today's event is to thank the users with free food and drinks throughout the day, along with live musical performances tonight. So this festival started around 11 o'clock this morning and is meant to go on until 1 a.m. and admission is free. Live in East Austin, Nicole Rosales, KVUE News.
If you do head out there, just make sure and bring your sunscreen. It looks pretty hot. Well, young and old are gathering in East Austin today to celebrate Juneteenth. That commemorates the day when abolition of slavery was announced in Texas back in 1865. KVUE's Rebecca Trejo takes us inside the festivities and what it means to those in our community.
It's just like a community event that I can see everyone enjoys.
From city council members to Austin PD to local musicians, hundreds gather in East Austin for the 2017 Central Texas Juneteenth Parade. The parade began at MLK and Kamal, made its way down Chacon streets all the way to Rosewood Avenue.
I think it's very fun. I like marching.
Taylor Miller plays for the Reagan High School marching band. She explains what Juneteenth means to her.
I just like that everyone's one step closer. I like thinking that everyone's happy, everyone's together, everyone's equal.
Bringing together people from all walks of life to celebrate the announcement of the abolition of slavery.
And the celebration doesn't end with the parade. A festival will be held here at Rosewood Park tonight until 8 o'clock.
Organizer Lee Dawson Jr. says Juneteenth is also meant to educate the youth.
And it is to bring back, to try to get knowledge to some of our young ones that's done lost some of the knowledge or not getting it in school.
For 79-year-old lifelong East Austin resident Leroy Chambers, Juneteenth means he meets old friends.
Every year, you get to see people with happiness, people with smiles. It's a relationship. It's a brotherly love relationship.
A relationship uniting generations. In East Austin, Rebecca Trejo, KVUE News.
And if you still want to head out there, the Juneteenth Festival at Rosewood Park lasts until 8 o'clock tonight. Rosewood Avenue from Chacon to Thompson Streets will be closed until 10 o'clock when organizers will be tearing everything down.